Some living species are specimens that have inhabited the Earth for millions of years, making them living fossils. One such example is the Chinese Giant Salamander, an amphibian that has changed very little over time. It belongs to the order Caudata and is, in fact, the largest amphibian in the world. They can measure up to 5.9 feet, including the length of their tail. Although this size is rarely reached, they typically average around 4.9 feet and weigh between 66 and 88 pounds, 30 to 40 kilograms. It belongs to the genus Andreas, the same as the Japanese giant salamander, and is related to the North American salamander, although the latter is smaller, reaching up to 27.5 inches. The Japanese giant salamander, on the other hand, is the second largest amphibian in the world, with a maximum length of 4.9 feet. As its name suggests, it inhabits China, specifically in narrow, shallow rivers with fast-flowing water, located in the central, southeastern, and southern parts of the country. They spend their entire lives in water, unlike some salamander species that become fully terrestrial. The Chinese giant salamander is entirely aquatic. They have a large head, which is wider compared to their body. Their skin is dark and wrinkled, allowing them to blend in with the mud and rocks in the rivers. They have short legs, and when walking on the bottom of water bodies, they drag their belly. They have 4 toes on their front limbs and 5 on their hind limbs. Despite being aquatic, these toes are not webbed. To swim, they use their enormous tail, undulating it with their entire body. They have lungs, but they are inefficient, so they often need to surface to take breaths of air. This method is used when there is low oxygen concentration in the water. Otherwise, they can absorb oxygen through their skin. Their eyes are small and not very functional, with poor vision, but they compensate for this deficiency with sensory nodes that allow them to detect their prey. These nodes run from their head to their tail and enable them to sense the movement of their prey. They are expert hunters, using ambush tactics where they remain motionless until their prey passes by. Then, they launch a quick attack, grabbing the animal with their jaws and swallowing it whole. Most amphibians use this same technique for hunting. They can open their jaws up to 40 degrees. They primarily feed on fish and shrimp, but they also eat frogs, insects, crabs, and other salamanders, including their own kind, juveniles, and even their own offspring, displaying cannibalistic behavior. This occurs mainly when resources are scarce or when there are too many individuals in a confined space. They are nocturnal animals. During the day, they usually hide in dark places, such as among rocks, logs, or underwater caves, only venturing out to stalk their prey and feed. However, during the mating season, they increase their daytime activity, searching for mates at any time of the day. It is unknown when they reach sexual maturity, but it is estimated to occur around 15 years of age. Mating takes place between July and September, and females lay between 400 and 500 eggs per clutch. Although they are very prolific, between 70% and 80% of these eggs do not reach adulthood. The female deposits the eggs near aquatic plants, rocks, or caves to hide them. The male then fertilizes them and guards them until they hatch, which takes 50 to 60 days. The hatchlings, which are just 1.2 inches, 3 centimeters, long at birth, feed on microscopic crustaceans and mollusks after 30 days. Their gills shrink as they grow, but never completely disappear. 2 of their gill branches remain, allowing them to breathe through this method. These gills are located as visible skin folds along their flanks, just behind the maxilla. They are among the few animals that can live over 100 years. Their exact lifespan and how long they remain fertile are unknown, but there are reports of some giant salamanders living over 200 years, which is impressive. They have some predators, mainly fish like the Silurus asotus, which can only prey on smaller salamanders, and birds like the gray heron, which hunts both adults and juveniles. However, when they reach a considerable size, they become the top predators in their habitat, although this is difficult to achieve due to hunting and other factors. This species is considered a delicacy in China and is hunted for consumption. A kilogram of Chinese giant salamander is priced between $100 and $400, making it a very lucrative business. Despite being critically endangered and the capture and sale being illegal, it is still traded illegally. Authorities do little to stop it, as fines for trading this meat do not exceed $6, which instead of discouraging the practice, encourages it. In addition to hunting, the urbanization of their habitat is another serious issue. Many homes built near the rivers where these salamanders live dump their waste directly into the water. This species is highly sensitive to water conditions, and any alteration severely affects their population. Amphibians are considered environmental indicators. When there is pollution, they are the first species to be affected. Pollution not only harms the salamanders, but also causes an ecocide in other species that ingest contaminated water or poison animals. Additionally, industries dump toxic waste and heavy metals into the rivers, poisoning the water and killing salamanders and other species. This creates a severe natural imbalance and makes these areas uninhabitable for a long time, with the purification of contaminated water being a monumental task. Although China cares for species like the panda, it seems the Chinese giant salamander does not receive the same attention. This is unfortunate, as this species plays a vital role in the food chain and serves as a model for understanding life on the planet. It is a living fossil about which very little is known. To improve the fate of this species, several measures could be taken. Instead of banning its consumption, breeding in specialized farms could be promoted. A percentage of the bred specimens could be destined for consumption, while the rest could be released into previously analyzed areas to ensure their survival. This would help restore the population, meet consumption demand, and allow for more in-depth study of this unique species. Additionally, better planning for housing and industrial construction should be implemented, ensuring that the ecosystem is not affected. This would help preserve the habitat of the Chinese giant salamander and other species. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and share it. This will help more people discover my work. If you're new, I invite you to subscribe to stay updated on new videos. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you next time.